What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chris coming at you for a Deerfish gaming video, okay? And so this Doing Brothers channel is kind of done with. Not really posting any more videos. I'm really only doing this because I have decided to make TCG content again, but over on my Deerfish gaming channel, okay? So I'm getting into Star Wars Unlimited. So go over to my Deerfish gaming channel. I'll have the link down below, and then you just hit subscribe over there so you won't miss any more content, okay? If you appreciated any of my content from the past, you're really going to appreciate my content going forward. I'm going to do video games and TCG, okay? So, Lorcana still on the table potentially for later. I'm really still not enjoying it. I just think that the game needs to develop a little bit more for me to enjoy it, but I'm really loving Star Wars Unlimited. And so today I'm going to be showing you guys my first Star Wars Unlimited deck breakdown. And yeah, let's get into that. This full video will be here on the channel, but further, let's go over to that Deerfish Gaming channel and run that channel up like we did this one. Peace. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chris coming at you for another Deerfish Gaming video, and today we're going to talk about Star Wars Unlimited. I got my very first deck that I'm going to bring to you guys, and yeah, if you like the sound of that, hit that like button down below, and if you don't want to miss any more Deerfish Gaming videos coming out of this channel, hit that subscribe button. It would really help me out a lot. Do it. Okay, so I got into Star Wars Unlimited somewhere in there in set 2, okay, and I got two great friends, and they were like, you know what, Chris, these two decks you're gonna like. Sabine, Boba. Boom, I like them both. I had a little bit short-lived time with both of them, okay? I kind of played them a little bit equally, right? And I'm kind of getting tired of playing Sabine, okay? And I was really enjoying Boba, and I was starting to ramp more into Boba, and I was starting to invest more into Boba, and now Boba's banned. So it kind of hit me kind of hard because I am newer to the game and that's what I invested in. I'm not here to complain about that. I'm here to tell you what I pivoted to. Now, this has nothing to do with a cunning build, but I was going to build Boba Green, so I invested a lot into green at the beginning, around the beginning of this set, because I was going to anticipate building a Boba Green deck. Well, instead, I've now pivoted to let's bring in our main character. Alright, so how do we get into explaining this? This is my first time actually explaining a Star Wars deck. So I think I'm just going to go in sections, and then we're going to start with ground units, then we're going to go space units, and then we're just going to talk about the events, and then I'll talk about the sideboard. So let's get into the ground units, right? The Coruscant Guard, I know is not a villainy unit, but trust me on this, the Coordinate Ambush comes in handy. You know, so many times does that 3 damage come in handy with the ambush on the Coordinate. Because, you know, you play Vader, you're more than likely going to get another unit coming out with Vader. Then you got the Coordinate, you know, for the next turn. It happens way more than you would think. So trust me, it is a lot better than you would think. Sure, you're not going to be able to pull him with Vader, but I'm not really trying to pull him with Vader anyway. I'm trying to pull something like, you know, the Phase 3 Dark Trooper or the Super Laser, or you know, something like the Black Sun Starfighter. So you know, it's really, like, when you think about it, if just because he's not a villain unit doesn't mean he's not a good unit for the deck. It comes in with 3 attack and 2 health. Very, very good. Trust me, leave him in. And then the Seasoned Shore Trooper, I don't know. I'm really up in the air about him. But he's there because after you get 6 resources, he's 4 attack for a 2-drop. That's really, really good. Pull in with Vader. That's a very, very good line right there. So he's just kind of in there. If you have a filler slot that you want to put in there, I would say you take that out. But I will say, if you take that 2-drop out, I would suggest putting another 2-drop in, because you know, you just want to be sure you play a 2-drop, because even if it's like a subpar 2-drop, missing a whole 2-drop is very, 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 very bad. You don't want to play, or you don't want to not play on turn 1, especially in a deck like this. I mean, really ever, but you don't want to miss, especially in a deck like this. And And then of course we have the phase 3 Dark Trooper. Say you miss your your super laser technician, then or your resupply for your ramp, then you can throw this bad boy down. It has Sentinel. Now oftentimes it's going to just be an even trade, but it will defer from your base to him for a turn, and if he does survive, then he gets that experience token. I really like that card. Okay, and then we have the B2 Legionnaires. Now I don't have a 4-drop. Okay, now you're like, Chris, why don't you have a 4-drop? Now the 4-drop, I had the Escort Kashyyyk, but really nothing is surviving. A green unit is not really surviving to make it to where you get the ambush for having a green unit out on the field, because you're normally trading, trying to keep the board just keep things stable. Don't let things get out of hand. That way after you ramp, you can just start slamming the board with big units and just take complete control, and your opponent really didn't have a chance ever. So the B2 Legionnaires, we get right into the 5-drops. Overwhelm and a Sentinel, 5 attack, 4 health. I thought about doing the patrolling AT-AT because it's 4 attack and 5 health with the Sentinel, but the natural Overwhelm and that 5 attack really is key. There's just a lot of things that you just really want to get out of the way. Even if it's a 1-for-1 trade, forcing that 1-for-1 trade into something is very good, because you're at resource 5. Your opponent is often at resource 4. You're often playing him like down, like your opponent's playing down compared to you. Like they're playing a 4-drop and you're playing a 5-drop. So it's typically okay, but either way, it's a very good card, and it surprised me, and it's really coming in handy. And then of course Darth Maul, Revenge at Last. How you not gonna play the legendary new Darth Maul? Attack 2 units at once. Oftentimes it dies because it takes damage from both the units, but if you play Darth Maul and then you OB Overwhelming Barrage on the next turn, it is just so nasty. You clear the board potentially, and then if they play something else, you can overwhelm into that with the other Maul action ability, and then you flip the leader on that turn as well. Just a really good sequence of events right there. I really like that combo. I really like that card. It's just very good. And if you don't have Darth Maul, he's a legendary, and some of these cards are kind of pricey or whatever. I would say you can use the patrolling AT-AT that has Sentinel 4 attack and 5 health, because I used that and it worked just fine. The deck did its job. It's another Sentinel unit, so it gets the job done, gets you to the point where you can stall. And Maul is just better because of the threat. He does have he has a higher health, and he has higher attack, and then he also can attack the 2 units. So either they have to remove the Maul, or something crazy is happening next turn. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of that thing. Like, it is clearly better than the patrolling AT-AT, but you can get by. So then we have, of course, the Pirate Battle Tank. Now this is I think it's the only smuggle card in the deck. That's fine, okay. But this is a great card. It's the Sentinel at 6, 4 attack, 6 health, and you just smuggle it for 7. It's a great card. 6 or a 7-drop. Either way, it has Sentinel, and oftentimes this thing saves me. I either don't have any cards in hand, and I just need to draw another big card to just finish taking over the game, and then I just swap that big boy out with the Sentinel. Saves me the turn. I survive. Boom, I draw what I needed, and now I'm able to take over and win. That card is just very good as a surprise Sentinel, or just as a 6-drop Sentinel. Just wherever you need, just Sentinel's great. And then, of course, now we're getting into the big bad boys, the Darth Vader, and the Maul, the big Maul, and then Emperor Palpatine. Okay, the 3 big bads. Okay, Darth Vader, you play him down, 5 attack, 7 health, ambushes, and you can search the top 10 cards, and you can get as many units up to 3 costs. The total of 3 costs. Typically, you're just getting 1 unit, like 1 2 cost or 1 3 cost, or at least in this deck for sure. And then you just pull that out. And yeah, I mean, that's him. And then you just ambush into something. So he's really, really cool. He's really, really good to use with Grim Resolve because he has higher health and attack. So, you know, you can get like 5 damage on him and then Grim Resolve him. He'll swing for 10. Really, really like that. To just really, boom, close that gap of damage if there was a gap in damage from when you were ramping. And then, of course, the Maul's Ambush and Overwhelm. What to love there, you know, just pairs perfect in this deck, and it pairs perfect with the Pirate Battle Tank, because if you attack into the Pirate, into something with the Pirate Battle Tank up, if like you want Maul to live, you can just send all that damage to the Pirate Battle Tank, because they're both underworlds. So it's really, really cool there. And of course, Emperor Palpatine, right? You just is a 6 attack, 6 health. When you play him, divide 6 damage anywhere is great. You know, just not a lot of stuff have more than 6 health, and even if they do, there's plenty of ways that we can handle that. Or, you know, we have Overwhelm to just overwhelm into your base. So yeah, there's lots of ways to finish your opponents off. You have to get used to the sequencing because it's a lot of you know, character control, but I really like the way this plays out. I really, really do. And so that was the ground units. Now let's get into the space units. Okay, so Kylo's TIE Silencer is just a lot of fun. You know what? Actually, for the space units, I'm gonna switch over to to a different view. Okay, so I also have it up on swdb.com. I will have the link down below. Don't worry, because you can also I'll show you at the bottom. You can also click this little force table link right here, and boom, they'll take you straight to a little simulator on the web where you can try this deck out at any other deck that you want to from this website. So just look out for that. I'm definitely going to be using this for all my decks just because that is there. So so we're moving to the space units. Okay, so this is probably better. I just want to try different stuff. So we were covered all of our ground units. Now let's move to the space unit. So the Kylo's TIE Silencer is one of the things that I just kind of put lastly in the deck. I was really trying to avoid this deck. I think avoid this card because of cost, right? It's just it's really popular right now because of Django, and so it's just going up in price. But it's clearly the best 2-drop. I had like Daring Raid in there for shenanigans. Is like a 1-drop for easy switch in for Force Throw. But I mean, this is just clearly the better option. Blue red is popular right now, so if this gets discarded from your hand or your deck, you know, you can still play it. It's good into Sabine. So Sabine tries to get around you for going space. You know, the red squadron only does 1 damage. It has raid 2, so it's like kind of 2-for-1s, that sort of deal. It's just really good. Most things have 3 attack or 3 health in space, so this is just really good. And also, if you want to go aggro space because you want to do a little race, you can do that as well. If you like, that's what you drew. If you drew units, no ramp, try to raid or whatever it may be. This deck can do a lot of different things. So the Black Sun Starfighter, 3/2 Sentinel, essentially the TIE Silencer, but a 3 cost and has Sentinel. Sentinel, great. We've covered why Sentinel is great in this deck. Just stall even 1 turn for you to ramp. Mwah, love it. Often we'll pull this with Vader, to be honest, though. Often we'll pull this with Vader as like another little side stoppage for the space until you can get your Devastator out. Now the Subjugating Starfighter is very, very good. The when played, if you have the initiative, create a battle token. It's cool, but it's not why it's in the deck. The Ambush, the 3/3. Again, we spoke of most space units, especially around this cost, will have 3 health. So the 3 attack is just boom, perfect. And with the Ambush, just allow you to continually keep the board state in a nice, steady space for you, right? Whether that be ground or space, whatever. It's just like a nice board state for you. Okay, just keep it even until you're ready to ramp. Once you ramp, then boom, you're gone. Well, I guess if you're playing this on 4 when you're not ramping, but you know, if they're going heavy space, you gotta stop the bleeding. You can't just ignore space. So like say they're going space and you have this in hand, right? And like maybe you did resupply on 3, but then they played a space unit, and then you took initiative. I mean, you got to play, you got to keep the space in control, right? So, yeah, that's just how that goes. And then, of course, we got the Devastator, just boom, slap, overwhelm, Sentinel, and when played, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the number of resources you control. So we just there's a lot of removal and like just ambush, overwhelm, play Palpatine, do damage, and then Devastator. And so there's just a lot of like damage removal going on in the later stages of the game. That's why I'm saying you kind of keep the board state somewhat even. If you get ahead, I mean, good lord, okay, that's cool. But you want to keep it kind of even and just stop any type of crazy bleeding for someone going for like an aggro, and then you just really put the pressure on it. And then after you hit that resupply or super laser, and just boom, boom, go, go, go. So now we're moving on to the events. We got the Grim Resolve. Grim Resolve is very, very good. I had 3 of it first because I was like, oh yeah, we got a lot of Sentinel. I think that works for Sentinel, super great. But I think 2 of it is just fine because you don't necessarily want to draw early, but it's really great for just like I think I spoke about it earlier with Darth Vader. He has more health than he does attack, but he already has 5 attacks, so just very, very good. Let him hit for hard, like very, very hard. Turn the Pirate Battle Tank into a big hitter because it has 4 attacks, 6 health. Just really get that boom, that grit going. And then with the Maul leader, anybody can overwhelm into something and also remove and overwhelm into the base. So it just Grim Resolve just all around a great card for this deck. And then of course I've said it many, many times because it's just so key to the game plan is this resupply. Put this event into play as a resource. Resupply super laser. I mean, honestly, guys, if you play super laser on resource 3 and then you happen to get another resupply and then like you're able to hit to 6 resources on like the next turn because you played a resupply and then you also got rid of your super laser, like got it defeated, so it goes down, so you have 6 resources. You flip Maul on what would be your opponent's resource 4. I don't know what they can do because then you draw, you intern, you draw, you resource 7. You could play a Vader, a Maul. I mean, it's really devastating what this deck can do. That now, granted, that is like a god draw, but it's probably not gonna happen. But it does happen more than you think. Pillage. I've tried her, like I mentioned earlier. I tried like the Escort Kashyyyk. I just didn't really like her, and everything else that I'm looking at, I don't really like. I think I would rather just play Pillage because late game, if I draw Pillage, if you only have 2 cards in hand and I have initiative, boom, done. If I have a good board state, I get rid of what you just drew before anything happens, and that's good. And say I didn't get to ramp, either have the Subjugating Starfighter or Pillage is also not bad to play. So either way, I'm cool with Pillage. I think it's just for this deck, there's not really a lot of 4-drops that are good, I think, and I mean, oftentimes you're skipping 2/5 anyway, or ramping 2/5, and then Overwhelming Barrage, by far, stupid hair on my face. The Overwhelming Barrage is just so great. I give a friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase, then it deals damage, spread amount divided as what you choose to any number of units, and it is amazing. Okay, you flip Maul, you play this, or you play the leader Maul, you play this, have a Sentinel unit down, play this. I mean, just any unit, play this. It's really good at helping just remove the space units if say you didn't draw your space units, or just any type of removal in general. This is very good, and then also followed up with attack damage, right? Very beautiful card. Now let's get into the sideboard, okay? And and as of course you can see, I haven't mentioned it really at all. I got all this little wordage right here that you can read through if you want to if you go to the this on your own. We got the Force Throw. Choose a player. That player discards a card from their hand. Then if you control a Force unit, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the cost of the discarded card. So I kind of played around with putting lower Force drop units, lower cost Force drop units, and had this in there earlier instead of like Daring Raid and stuff. I don't know. I didn't like it. I felt like I was forcing it. However, if you're not going against an aggro deck and say you feel like you can maybe take out a 2-drop or whatever because they're not doing anything too crazy early on, then you throw Force Throw in for like some late game removal because you have both Mauls, Vader, Palpatine. There's a lot of Force units, so this is, I think, a really good side card. And then Caught in the Crossfire is just really amazing. Choose 2 enemy units in the same arena. Each of those units deal damage equal to its power to the other. Now, most of the time, when your opponent plays into your arena, they're going to go heavy into that arena. Like Django goes heavy space. This deck goes heavy ground. So this deck, I mean, this card works a lot better than you would think, and oftentimes it's just straight up removal of 2 units, okay? Because, you know, they're probably going to attack into you to try to get rid of some of your big boys, and then they're just kind of like, whoo, okay, we're free and clear. Well, then you Caught in the Crossfire, boom, board state reset. You know, hopefully you still have way more big units than them to just play and just continue to overwhelm them. So Caught in the Crossfire, very good. Palp's Return, I had 2 in the side deck. I moved it down to 1 just because I'm finding that I really wasn't using it that often, because this deck, honestly, it slaps. You know, very rare did I ever have to bring anything back from the discard and get tricky with it, but you might have to. So it's a great card, so I think having 1 in the side deck is perfectly fine. Then Reinforcement Walker is just amazing. You know, 6/9 when played and on attack. Look at the top card of your deck. Either draw that card or discard it and heal 3 damage from your base. Just in case you need to get a little bit of healing going on, maybe take Emperor Pal just to even swap there. I really like this card. Just a good side deck card. Palp is so good because of the removal. So, you know, it's just gonna have to, you know, side this in when needed, right? Crate Dragon is a very good card. Just a 9-drop. I feel like if you take out Seasoned Stormtrooper, so you're not going like aggro, or you're not going against aggro, something like that, you know, and you can just really, or maybe they're not going heavy space, you take out the Devastator and you throw in the Crate Dragon. It's got the Overwhelm 10/10. When an opponent plays a card, you may deal damage equal to that card's cost to their base or to a ground unit they control. Very strong card. As soon as you play it, demands attention. So yeah, I really think this is good. It's a 9-drop, so, and you know, maybe you can find a different card if you're not really hot on this, but I'm finding that this is really helping me, especially when like they're not expecting it, right? They're expecting, you know, okay, you got the Vader, the Maul, the Palp, okay, then the Devastator, okay, we can handle, okay, let's say we can handle all that, okay, well, boom, now you slap down the Crate Dragon. Oh my god, right? So it's just a little crazy. God forbid you switch out Palp for the Reinforcement Walker, and then you put in Crate Dragon, so you get a little healing too. So there's just a lot of different things you can do. I really like this deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and again, if you made it this far, I hope you liked the video. Hit that like button down below, and if you don't want to miss any more Deerfish Gaming videos, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be making more deck videos. Pretty much whatever I play, I'm going to do a video on. That's just kind of what I do. It's what I like to do. I'm having a lot of fun with this deck. If I make any major tweaks or whatever, I'll talk about it. But yeah, I think after I finish having fun with this deck, I'll move on to maybe like Heroic Blue-Red. That seems like it's having a lot of fun, picking up a lot of fun. So we'll see. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.